soil? Well, here in this video we are going to teach you how to grow soil with biochar. We'll flick your camera around right now and here we go. So this was actually double the biomass to make this. So just be aware that through pyrolysis and trying to make biochar, you do use a lot of timber to create the product. So here we go. This is what we're going to do. The number one factor is biochar is a dead battery cell. A lot of people say they activate it, but the activation is simply water. This is not true inoculation and activation. This is simply prepping the biochar ready for proper activation with soil microbes. So earthloveglobal.com.au produce high quality fertile soil products with biochar, and you can do it yourself. So in this DIY video we're going to teach you about soil. So number one, organic matter is key, right? But what if your organic matter is dry and you can't get moisture? Okay, a lot of people don't understand that it's not the moisture that you need, it's the microbes. So when you're trying to grow your soil and utilizing biochar, you're going to help produce a fertile living ground that allows microbes to thrive. Now we're going to explain why. So here we've applied just the tiniest bit of biochar. Mix it in, and this is just on such a small scale that you can understand how easy it is to do it to your very own backyard, your soils, and your garden beds. So the difference is, look how Terra Preta is actually black earth. So I didn't put that much on, and really ultimately look at the color difference from this to this. So this is without biochar and this is with. So now you can imagine just in 1 gram of biochar you have exactly 836 million square meters of surface area. That allows your microbes and fungi to live. Now, if it's 836 million square meters of surface area, imagine how many microbes is now going to be able to live in their houses inside this biochar and in this organic matter. So that's as simple as it is. Now, if you're worried that you're not going to make your activation to the standard that you think that you need, that's okay, because if your plants go a little bit yellow, it's missing the magnesium and nitrogen content. So the easiest way is to just go and get your soil from your garden, from your healthy garden, even if it's dead bone dry, mix up your biochar, mix it into water and pour it into a compost pile. Yes, a compost pile, because this compost pile is going to turn into a worm farm. And the biggest part is, when you want to create a worm farm, this is the key in regenerating soils. So say we get this biochar and we mixed it into here. All right, the microbes are going to be hiding in the biochar, ready to come alive and be activated. Now, if this is missing and you've got this in and around your plants and your plants are dying off or struggling, it's because you haven't got the activation right. The best way to activate biochar is compost, worm castings and compost. And the biggest and easiest way to do that is create yourself a worm farm. Go and get some worm castings from your worm farm, mix that into a 20-litre bucket and pour it over your biochar. Now what that's going to do is that's going to settle in to all the nooks and crannies of the biochar. The microbes are going to start living there, and then you can utilize that straight into your soils. But this isn't activated. And why am I doing it like this? It's because our soils are so fertile, we know that we can get away with just using the biochar without activating. So that is what's actually happening, is that the biochar absorbs and removes the nutrients, moisture and minerals that feed the microbes. So in this case, we have actually created a basic blend of terra preta, which is black earth. Now you can ramp it up. You can ramp it up and put 20% in there. You could start off with 2%. Any little bit of additives of biochar into your soil is going to be super beneficial. And this is going to come alive over the next couple of months. Why? Because the surface area within here, every time you water, you're not going to cop the leaching processes that you would normally experience. You don't see it, but what happens is when you water here, the nutrients, moisture and minerals and all the microbes wash away down the hill or underneath into the subsoil. You don't see it, but then your soils become inactive and you can't grow your plants. Well, the easiest way to fix this is go and grab your really fertile compost or your worm castings, and instead of watering with plain water, mix this into a bucket of water and pour it over your garden. And you continue to do that. Then the next thing would be put 4 to 6 inches of mulch. We don't recommend sugarcane. You can use it. We recommend pea straws, all different types of straws, because the straw has a lot more surface area in through the stems of the straw, which allow the microbes to live and keeps the soils nice and cool. But anything that you can get your hands on, put 4 to 6 inches. Now, say this was the garden, you put 4 to 6 inches on top, put your hand in underneath this area in the middle of the day. Is your soils cool? If they are, you have won. You have got the actual right amount of coverage over the top of the soils. Your microbes, your worms, your fungi are all going to come alive, and you're going to continue to grow extremely well throughout all seasons. So if you want to learn about soils and you want to get some products like Biochar Queensland, and you want to get the Queensland Biochar delivered to you, then contact www.earthloveglobal.com.au, fill out the inquiry form, and our team of solutionists, which repair soils right across Australia, will be at your doorstep, helping you and guiding you into fertility and high productivity on your crops, on your farmland. And no matter what, the Queensland Biochar is going to support you from now and in an excess of 10,000 years. So now this is going to last for 10,000 years in this soil, so it is going to be highly productive. You need to add a lot of organic matter because the surface area of the biochar that you've put in there is going to ramp up the microbial activity, so your organic matter is going to be eaten a lot quicker, but you get a higher yield rate. So please put 1/3 to 3/4 of your crop back into the soil and feed your soils for the next season. Yes, you're not going to harvest 100%. Yes, you're going to obtain larger quantities over an extended period of time. And you're not going to fall into that dip where you can't harvest any crops because of drought. This prevents drought. This helps you to obtain the growth that you desire and deserve. Biochar Queensland by Earth Love Global. Book your biochar and on earthloveglobal.com.au website, and our team will ship that products to you across Australia instantly as soon as the order has been placed. And if you want more videos on this, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, and feel free to drop down into the comments section and leave us a comment in regards to what it is that you want to learn about soils and soil fertility. Thank you again from the entire team at Earth Love Global. We're going to come back and plant some cabbage into this and start growing a beautiful food forest. Thank you from the Earth Love Global team. Go to Biochar Queensland at earthloveglobal.com.au.